I've traveled the world. And just like my friends, we share a common thought, a thought of considering and including these our brothers and sisters. And that is one of our core values, inclusiveness. Inclusiveness. We must include everyone. I've had personal stories. For example, so many years ago, I was in Angenois, and there was this young man, very intelligent, but he was walking with crutches. He was walking, he was moving, but supported. He was blocked just after me. I mean, if he was ahead of me, the bouncer bounced him. Wano tetukkiriza balema ojja kukatawanya abantu nga bazina amazina gaabwe. Because he was walking in what he called a funny way. And I came in walking like this. That was a funny way too, but he let me go in. This young man, and I'm glad to report that now, after so many years, I see the sense in him. He went to court, and Angenois had to compensate him. Ladies and gentlemen, some of us have our eyes opened in tough times, while others have their eyes opened early enough. The reason, for example, why we have steps here and we have a ramp here is because we know that some people are going to come here and they're moving with a wheelchair and they're not going to use the steps. Some of these simple things, other countries are way ahead of it. Just like you have a toilet for women and men, you must have a walk path for normal people, or whatever we call them, and with people using wheelchairs and other things, ladies and gentlemen. We as NUP, we have not thought about persons with disabilities today. And as one of our brothers was reporting to you, he actually got, two of them got the disabilities or the special need when we were going to Mbarara to launch our manifesto, which manifesto, and Edgar quoted, includes an envisionment of the plight of people living with disabilities. Ladies and gentlemen, these are not just special needs, these are rights. Because in NUP, we know the difference between equality and equity. I mean, if there are steps, yes, everybody is equal and everybody should use the steps. But there's no equity in that. And that's what we view, that's what we think a country should be, that's how a country should be run. Ladies and gentlemen, in other countries, you have special parkings for people with disabilities. You have special places with people with special needs. That is what is supposed to be, not only in a developed country, but everywhere where there's humanity. We don't have it in Uganda, we want it in Uganda, and we will get it in Uganda. A government that is serving people must be able to recognize the needs of these people. And this is not just starting. This has been happening since time immemorial. It is just being destroyed. I'll give an example, ladies and gentlemen. The Shimoni, which was demolished to build Kingdom Kampala, was a school that had a provision for the deaf, for the blind, and other special needs. Schools for children with special needs and disabilities are reducing instead of increasing. I was talking to my wife, Babi, where she went for her primary in Mbarara, St. Helens. She used to study with children who are blind. As a matter of fact, one time I was moving with her and this blind guy, I was talking to her. Babi had not recognized her old friend because he had changed. I mean, he was a friend in primary, P3. But when the guy heard the voice say, Itungo, and then Babi turned. And that's when she recognized her old friend. But because of those skills that are built, we get to realize that these people are not actually disabled. And like a brother said, they are abled differently. So today, ladies and gentlemen, while we celebrate this day, we should take time to reflect on these, our brothers and sisters. They are a huge chunk of our population. They need us just as much as we need them. not only helping them. I mean, we've had brilliant ideas from people with disabilities, and I believe these are ideas that are helpful to society. So while I encourage the population, the society to embrace people with disabilities, I want to encourage you, brothers and sisters with disabilities, don't sit on yourselves. You are just as good as everybody else. Be included, and the only way you're going to be included is by including yourself. If you don't raise your voice, nobody is going to hear you. If you don't put up your hand, nobody is going to see you. So rise